Hello and welcome to another update video about crypto.com coin CRO. We're taking a look at an updated technical analysis. Really want to give you an idea of the indicators, oscillators, what the price is currently doing. So far, last video we were here at around the key support level here, the 0.618 fib level at 43 cents. It did make basically the assumption that from here we could first of all bounce off. Now we did see that quite a bit. We moved all the way up to 50 cents. Since then, however, due to Bitcoin's latest drop again, we've been dropping here as well down to 45, 46 cents again. In my view, the price has done what it's supposed to be doing in an ABC correction. So after we've done our impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, we've come into an A, B, and a C. We've dropped below the 20-day moving average here, which is currently sitting at 52 cents, and the 50-day moving average here at 57 cents. The thing is, what happens now? Theoretically, based on what the pattern is doing here, the ABC could be complete. We've seen a wave A, B to the upside, and the wave B to the upside did, I think, as far as I remember, come perfectly here to a fib level. So it did come all the way up here to the 0.382 fib level. Normally, ideally, you would want a wave 5 at least to come to the 0.5 fib level, so it would have had to move a little bit higher, which tells me actually what we could be seeing could be another move up, right? Another move up that could actually mean that what we have seen here, yes, it was an ABC, but it could be part of a larger A, B, pretty much what could be coming for Ethereum next, ABC. That is certainly a possibility, and that wave B then could move all the way up to the 0.5 fib level at around 70 cents. Now that is a possibility. Yeah, I'm not telling you this is going to happen. This is one possible scenario because this is what Ethereum could currently be building. I talked about that in the Ethereum video today. Before it then does its final sell-off. Why do I so much believe in this final sell-off? Various reasons. One of them is my Bitcoin analysis that I've been doing, where I talked about exactly this possible pattern here that Bitcoin is currently in, basically. And also during this wave 2 correction, I would expect the price to come down. Basically, altcoins just do this. Altcoins typically come down like 70-80% in a major correction. So, the difference here is we've come to that key support at 0.618 fib level. That is primarily what I expect, and I fully know I could be totally wrong here. And this is my view of the elite wave count, that we could now get here another wave B, basically because that wave B actually technically didn't come up high enough. So we could see here another one, found support here. To do that, though, we would need to do one thing. And we would need to break this pattern. What you see here is a very, very interesting pattern, basically a huge bull flag, you could call it, or we just call it a descending wedge. All right, because it's quite large for a bull flag, but it's a descending wedge. A few different ways to draw it. You could do it like that. You could do it, possibly I would prefer to do it like that. And in this case, we are getting very, very close here to this apex, okay? And it's probably, you always try to find, if you draw a trend line, you always try to get as many contact points as possible. Typically, you say you shouldn't really cut through candles, but this oftentimes just doesn't work. And you want to get, at least in my experience, you want to get the trend line that has most touch points, at least 3. So it's always a little bit of a playing around here, but this here feels good to me. So based on that, what you have here is a clear descending wedge, out of which you would typically, more often than not, to expect the price to move up. And that that is what makes these patterns at the moment, the current wave cycle in which we are, so difficult, because what could really happen, it's just what I just showed you with this ABC pattern. We could really see here a massive breakout to the upside, that could take us really to 70 cents, maybe even a little bit higher, from which you could then break down. And this is when people get bullish, very bullish, too bullish. In my personal view, Harmony 1 is currently at such a tipping point, hasn't done an all-time high yet, or is just about to do it. but it's at the previous high, you know, and even with this wave B, we could even theoretically go to the previous high, have a massive double top, and then break down. And this is what makes so dangerous. These waves B, they are very, very difficult to predict. So I just want to, even if I'm wrong here, I just want to remind you, be on the side of caution, yeah. But this is a potential entry point here. As soon as we break here, this descending wedge, and this will be here. I mean, there isn't much more space, to be honest. So my guess would be that we're going to hold here the 0.618 fib level, because that's the key level, all right? So this is sitting at 42 cents, 43 cents. So I think we could come down once more here to 42, 43 cents before we then break here up. And that would be very, very interesting. That could be, if that breaks up, you know, it could really be big. It could be big. Because obviously it's quite a huge pattern, isn't it? And then then you could get your move up and then down. That's at least a possibility. Of course, the ABC correction could be complete, you know, and maybe we move away straight, but there is no sign of it yet. You know, what I would want is a confirmation that we see here an impulse building to the upside, and then of course I'll keep you updated as soon as we can see something here. But even if it is a wave B could be traded as well for everybody who wants to do trading. And it's up to you, of course, no financial advice, but a possibility would be then to wait for that breakout, maybe wait for a retest, and as soon as a retest confirmation is there, and bear in mind there isn't always a retest, then go long here. That could be attractive because of the size of that pattern, okay? Always bearing in mind there should be a volume confirmation when we get that breakout. Overall, looking generally at the indicators, that I'm not too positive. Here on the weekly, you know, the MACD is just crossing bearish. Oops, and that just shows how much potential to the downside there still is, because we are, don't know what I'm doing here, sorry, because we are so high with the MACD, it just needs to correct. And if you see that bearish crossover play out, and that's going to happen, then we could really see that push to the downside. Of course, there could be, first of all, a push to the upside. The thing is, if you lose that descending wedge to the downside straight away, I think if you lose the 0.618 fib level, yeah, then you could go down straight away into this target area here. So either way, I would personally expect the price to land there eventually. But bear in mind, there is never certainty in these markets. We can only take a look at patterns, indicators, trend lines. And what we have here is a bullish pattern generally. Yeah, so we could break really out with a wider understanding of the Elliott wave count and what Bitcoin is doing. I would think if we really break out here that we come down once more and that we are going to land in this target area here. Yeah, between 18.5 cents and 27.5. Because if you lose that fib level anyway at 42, then I think you are unlocking price. And you can see it straight away here on the weekly. If you lose that fib level, that's probably it. That's the last key support before you're actually gonna move down there. What I don't know currently is this wick here, if that was actually, I don't think it actually dropped. I think there's probably an error in the chart. Don't think that was a valid, if that really was a valid move down here, then you could argue that we might have seen that already that low, but it feels wrong. And also that one feels wrong here to 120. Let me know what you think. If you think these are actually valid, I think they're just sort of errors in the charts, which makes, to be honest, Elliott wave analysis sometimes difficult, especially with cryptos, because you have so many different exchanges, and it's all fairly decentralized still, that sometimes you have different charts on different platforms, which makes, if you take a look at one platform, you come to a different conclusion on the other one. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully I made you aware here of these patterns, the key area where I would expect the price to land, and the key area support and resistance levels, and also the indicators. Maybe a last look here on the daily chart, where you can actually in the short term here see that we could really see that push to the upside, because you've got the MACD selling pressure slow down, and we're potentially moving here on the RSI into the direction of the 50 line, you know, but we are still sort of now, okay, we tried, we broke down here again, so remains interesting. But what is certainly is that we are here at this in this apex here. And generally talking about probabilities, what I would personally expect is that we break out here first, but then eventually will come down, because I don't think the correction is over yet, basically by looking at what other cryptos are doing. All right, so hopefully you liked the update about CRO, crypto.com coin. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.